Hi guys, it's Shane again, and I want to talk today about Red Bull's flexible wings. Now, this wasn't a topic I was really going to go into because I'm not an engineer. I don't know the ins and outs of exactly how they work, but the basic premise of it is at high speed and under the high loads, the Red Bull's rear wings and a few other teams flex and reduce their wing angle, which reduces drag down straights, but under the lower loads of cornering, they pop back up and provide the higher downforce through the corners. This is the basic crux of it. And they seem to have found a way that they flex under the really high loads on high speed, but don't flex during the FAA scrutineering tests, so do pass scrutineering. Now, I've seen a lot of talk about this, and the most talk and the topic I really want to address is people saying that it's Mercedes complaining and just whining because they're being beaten. Now, the first major thing here is Mercedes aren't being beaten. They are top of both championships right now, and they have won 3 races to Red Bull's 1. The other thing is there is a big difference. So I saw this in a comment section where a lot of people said it was hypocritical that Mercedes would push on with something like DAS, dual axis steering, but really complain about Red Bull's rear wings. Now, the way Mercedes went about producing something like dual axis steering, they found a loophole in the rule book that enabled them to do something different to give them an advantage within the rules. Dual axis steering wasn't technically legal, it was just legal. It was perfectly legal under the time, and people's protests were thrown out by the FIA because it was legal and they had to make it illegal for the following season. What Mercedes did in 2020 with dual axis steering was perfectly legal. The difference between that and what Red Bull are doing with their flexible rear wings and have done on multiple occasions now, and what someone like Ferrari did with the twin battery thing, they found a loophole in scrutineering that enabled them to get away with breaking the rules. That's the key difference. Mercedes didn't do something illegal and cheat scrutineering. They did something legal and was within the rules because they found a loophole in the rule book. Red Bull and Ferrari found a loophole in the way that the rules were enforced that would enable them to get around the rules and do something that is illegal. So if you are going to complain about Mercedes, you are perfectly at liberty to claim about their exploitation of track limit rules at Bahrain. That's fair enough. But with regards to using dual axis steering as an example, that's completely irrelevant to this discussion because Mercedes didn't try to cheat scrutineering. That's what Red Bull are doing with this. They have found a way to make their wing flex in a way that is beneficial to them that will still pass the FIA scrutineering and therefore be technically legal but clearly not legal because there are FIA rules against the amount that a rear wing can flex. And Red Bull have on multiple occasions in the late 2000s and the early 2010s come under a lot of scrutiny for how flexible their car's wings are. And they have done this repeatedly, so it's not a new thing from Red Bull to do something that cheats scrutineering in order to get away with it. And as I said, with Ferrari, with their twin battery system, where the FIA put a second sensor on their batteries and suddenly their top speed diminished overnight. It's never been officially stated that that was the way they were cheating it for increased mid-speed power, but it looks increasingly likely that they had just found a way to cheat scrutineering. And cheating the way the rules were enforced is not the same as a technical innovation. Like that, let's be very clear on that. The flexible rear wings and the twin battery aren't the same as Mercedes with dual axis steering or other famous innovations throughout time, such as active suspension. They aren't within the rules. Cheating scrutineering to break the rules is not the same as finding something within the rule book to push it through, such as like the bribe and fan car. That was legal. They really wormed it to make it legal, but it was legal and it was blocked by protests from other teams despite being legal. Another good example of this is the water-cooled brakes. That was a way of cheating scrutineering, not a loophole in the rule book. So there's a lot of history in Formula One of people cheating scrutineering rather than finding a genuine loophole in the rules. And that's what Red Bull have done here. That's why Mercedes are so mad about it, because it is cheating. It is against the rules. That's why everyone was so angry with the Ferrari engine performance as well. As for the other things where it's just Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes whining, they have a right to complain when teams are gaining an unfair advantage by breaking the rules. I think whenever people try to say, oh, it's just them complaining about being beaten, they're not being beaten. Mercedes are still the best team at the moment. They're still top of both championships, and they've still beaten Red Bull in head-to-head fights so far this season. With the whole thing, it's Interesting that they're going to bring in the enforcements later. We're really going to see how much of an impact that rear wing has in Azerbaijan at Baku, where Hamilton thinks it'll be worth up to 6/10 a lap. Maybe it won't be that much. I don't know. If it is worth that much, then yeah, like obviously it's an advantage and Mercedes have every right to complain about it. We're not really going to see the advantage that the wing gets at Monaco because there's no real high load areas for high speed at Monaco. It's just a high downforce circuit. Red Bull will probably have the advantage there as they have for a few years now. Red Bull do tend to be quite strong around the streets. Do I think it's just Mercedes whining? No, I don't. They're well within their rights to. I think it is cheating in the same way I didn't like what Ferrari did with the twin battery. I like innovation. Innovation in sport is entertaining. The issue is cheating scrutineering isn't innovation. It's cheating. That's as simple as that. It's just another way of breaking the rules and not getting caught for it. It's the same as the Toyota Turbo in the mid-90s in rallying, where it was illegal, but it got through scrutineering for most of the season. It was cheating, but they cheated to beat scrutineering. It wasn't an innovation, and that's what these rear wings are. As for Monaco coming up this weekend, I think Red Bull are going to be quick. Well, I say Red Bull, I think Max is going to be very quick. Then I think it'll probably be the two Mercedes up close behind, maybe the McLarens. We'll see if Checo can finally get some form together, but if not, he could find himself under a bit of pressure. I mean, it's not helping the case that that second Red Bull seat is cursed because no one's performed well on it since Daniel Ricciardo, and they've put 3 different drivers in it now. So hopefully Checo picks up his form soon. Further down the road, my personal connection, I really hope Aston Martin improve and Vettel improves. Probably not going to happen. I'm forever going to hope that it gets better for them, but at the moment it's not looking too good. Speaking of Aston Martin, I did see something recently where people were saying that the team weren't happy that they were forced down the Mercedes route when they were committed to their high rate concept, and I think this has only really come up because suddenly high rate concepts seem to be preferable to the low rate concept of the Mercedes and the Aston Martin. If the low rate concept was still successful and still looked like the best way to go, people wouldn't be talking about this. It's just the fact that high rate has suddenly come up. Racing Point and Force India weren't having massive success with their high rate concept, and their low rate concept copying Mercedes did shoot them significantly up the grid. And obviously this season they have struggled. We will see a lot more of what happens with them next season, where they won't be able to run a development of a car that was a copy of a championship winning car, and they'll design their own car again. So we'll see what route they go down there, and that's where we'll see the technical innovations and the technical improvements made to that Red Bull team via Lawrence Stroll's funding really come to their own, or not, depending on which way it goes. A lot of teams will be focusing on next year now, including teams like Ferrari, where this year is sort of a write-off. They know they're not going to be challenging up at the top, so there's not really much point committing to it. We're going to have to enjoy that battle between Red Bull and Mercedes. However, the last time Red Bull and Mercedes were fighting near the front was in 2013, and Mercedes tricked Red Bull into developing their car far too late into the season. If we see that again, expect Mercedes to be miles in front again at the start of next season. I'm looking forward to Monaco, particularly on Saturday, perhaps less so on Sunday. I kind of hope it rains so that we get a really entertaining race. Other than that, I will be posting more videos more regularly now. Until next time, I have been Shane Nye. Thank you for watching.